What's good, everybody? It's Nizzy from House Umbro, and today I wanted to talk about the entire Bungie layoff debacle. So if you didn't know, this past week, some of you aren't on Twitter like that. This past week, Bungie laid off around 100 people, or 8% of their company, and it was from devs to community managers to musicians, etc. And they basically got rid of a bunch of people, and people were upset on the internet. And then simultaneously, it's been revealed that they are 45% below what they projected the revenue should be, and they're in the negative. Essentially, they're not making the amount of money that they predicted that they will, or that they told their investors, and they laid a bunch of people off. And I'm hearing at this point they are also delaying the final shape to around June of next year. So crazy week. Basically, everybody's mad on the internet, saying like, oh, they handled this layoff terribly, they treated people poorly. People are mad that they're not saying anything. People are mad that the final shape got delayed. People are just mad at Bungie. People are just angry right now. And I wanted to share my piece. I waited this long because I wanted to see what Bungie would say, and then I wanted to really sit and reflect before I just got on YouTube and tried to like make a bunch of videos on the topic, which some other people are doing. It's fine, but I just wanted to give it some time. So I'm gonna just read what Bungie actually said themselves. Our path forward. This has been one of the most difficult weeks in our studio's history. We parted ways with people we respect and admire. We spend this week supporting one another, including those who are at the studio, as well as our friends and colleagues who are no longer are. We want to acknowledge the feedback and concerns you had about Lightfall in recent seasons, as well as our responses to the reveal of the final shape. We know we have lost a lot of your trust. Destiny needs a surprise and delight. We haven't done this enough, and that's going to change. To us, the path forward is clear. We need to make the final shape an unforgettable Destiny experience. We want to build something that will be regarded alongside the best games we've ever made. A fitting culmination that honors the journey we have been on together for the past 10 years. Forsaken, the Witch Queen, and the Taken King. These are the standard bearers we aim to live up to. We are intensely focused on exceeding our expectations for the final shape, and Destiny 2 has more than 650 dedicated teammates pouring all their energy and expertise into delivering the epic moment in its subsequent episodes. In the weeks ahead, you'll be hearing more about us from what to expect, what's next on the short-term horizon, beginning with our next season in late November. Afterwards, we will begin to unpack our team's bigger, bolder, and brighter vision for the final shape, as well as the bridge we plan to build to take us all out of this darkness and into the light. See you, Starside. See, okay, so this is what they released. I personally don't like this, and I'm gonna explain. The reason why I don't like this is because why did it take all of this for you to have this desire to make the final shape this masterpiece that they want to make it now? Like be for real, bro. This is literally the biggest, most important expansion in this game's life. And this is what it took. It took you guys to lay a bunch of people off. It took you guys losing all this money to come up to this mindset. Like, it's so crazy to me. That's like, that alone is so crazy to me. Because I have this massive amount of expectation for the final shape because it's the final expansion. It's the closing of the game. But it seems like my expectations were bigger than what they were expecting to do. Like, they were like, oh, it's whatever, just another expansion. Like, no, bro, like, you should have had this energy from the jump. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you should have had this mentality from the beginning. There's no reason why you needed this catalyst to motivate you to do this. So before I really get into it, because I'm going to rant this episode or this video, I just want to say a couple things. One, I'm going to speak frankly. I'm going to cuss. So it's not from a place of hate. I'm just passionate about this game. Two, I'm going to be, like direct and blunt, and it's not out of hate, obviously. It's about just cutting to the chase. And I'm different from everyone else on YouTube and on Twitter. I'm not trying to be nice, and I'm not trying to be nobody's friend. Like, I'm a consumer, and I critique the product. That's it. I want to really drive that part home. And then also, there isn't going to be much video on screen. I just read the article, but like, you can put me on in the background, just listen to the video. You don't necessarily have to watch. I'm just going to be talking. And I'm free-spiring. So, like, I wrote, like, a couple points. There's no real script. So let's get right into it. So yeah, they said all that, and that kind of pissed me off because it's like, bro, like, why the fuck wasn't this the original plan? Like, why is it the plan now to make this the unforgettable expansion? Like, bro, you should have been doing that. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's like absolutely mad to me. And then two, this look at what they listed here. They listed Forsaken, the Witch Queen, the Taken King. These are like the pinnacle Destiny expansions. I will wholeheartedly agree that the Taken King is the peak of Destiny 2 content. The Taken King was fantastic. To remind you what they added for the Taken King, I could Google it, but just on top of the memory, they added subclasses, they added a raid, they added a story that tied into the raid, they added a bunch of exotics. Like, bro, the Taken King was insane for content. Like, it was actually insane. The campaign was dope as hell. You played through it. The what was his name? Oryx was in our solar system. You got to go to his ship. You running missions on the ship. They had some of the coolest strikes. Man, yo, Taken King was lit, bro. And then even after you beat the campaign, you had to go do the raid to go beat Oryx. And that shit was like all connected, bro. It was a dope experience. I don't know why they don't do that anymore. Like, the raid and the campaign should be directly connected. Like, why are they separate? I don't get that logic. Like, Root of Nightmares and Lightfall, it's totally separate from us fighting Callus. Like, why are they separate? The raid and this campaign should, the campaign should culminate in the raid. That's what they're doing with the final shape, they said. You know what I mean? At the end of the campaign, you got to do the raid to beat the witness. Like, duh, that's how they all should be. So the Taken King was lit. I'm actually gonna look it up real quick. I'm sorry, this might be a little longer of a video, but you feel me? I just wanna get my thoughts out without like being super strict about it. So Destiny 2, let me just look it up because that shit added so much stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see if there's like a list of everything they added. Or what? Where's my I'm trying to see if okay, there's like a list here. Added new missions, new environment, PvP maps. We got PvP maps too. No one has like a good list of what it added. But whatever. It added subclasses, it added PvP maps, it added a raid, a campaign, and the list goes on. Like, it was actually insane. So, to me, the best expansion is the Taken King. I personally did not play Forsaken when it launched. I know some of you might have. I know they added, that's when Well of Radiance came out. They added a solar supers. They added supers for everybody, and they added a raid and a campaign, and then they added the dungeon that opened up after you beat the raid. Like, bro, Forsaken was probably lit. The campaign was probably lit. I actually didn't play it. That was when I took my break from the game. But so Forsaken and the Taken King are basically the best expansions. The Witch Queen. Let me share my piece on the Witch Queen. The Witch Queen are not on the same level as these two. Not even close. And the reason for that is because the Witch Queen added something that basically changed the very fabric of the game, which is a good thing, yes, but it's not necessarily the Witch Queen's content per se. You know what I mean? Like the Taken King, the raid, the story, the missions, and all that added to the game. You know what I mean? But the Witch Queen, the campaign was fire, but weapon crafting essentially changed the entire game. So it was inevitably going to be a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, they could have added weapon crafting in any expansion, and it would have been that big of a deal. You feel me? So I don't want to say like Witch Queen was bad. It was good. It was just weapon crafting is a bulk of why it was so good. It changed the entire way we approach the game now with red borders and trying to get you could create the god roll. But the story was fire, and the raid was extremely good. But weapon crafting was the bulk of why people say it was super good. And the reason why I'm kind of like separating Witch Queen from the others is because like I feel like from Beyond Light, Witch Queen, and Lightfall, and even Shadowkeep was garbage. I feel like that like style of content is just not good. You know, like Forsaken added light, they updated the light supers, but simultaneously they added a raid, and then we got the dungeon too. You know, they just overhaul the entire game as opposed to like creating these small experiences and calling it an expansion. Like Shadowkeep, what the hell did you get for Shadowkeep? You got a raid and they opened the moon. Like that's not enough, bro. Beyond Light, we got a raid, Europa, and Stasis. In my opinion, that's not enough. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that's enough for an expansion. For a $60 expansion, you're basically buying a full price game to get 8 missions, a patrol space, a raid, and a subclass. Like, bro, in my opinion, the style of expansions from Beyond Light up is just not good enough. Like, I need a total shift in the game. Like, Forsaken made the game a new game. You know what I mean? Taken King made Destiny 1 a entire new game. Like, it's hard to describe it because I don't have all the, like, things they added. I wish there was, like, a graphic I could find. I'm trying to find something, but, like, you know, maybe some of you in the comments will know what I mean. Like, after Forsaken, Destiny 2 was a different game. After Beyond Light, it was the same game. After Witch Queen, it was a different game. You know what I mean? But Witch Queen had weapon crafting. So weapon crafting, no matter where you dropped it in, it would have changed the game. So I can't really credit that to Witch Queen. You feel me? They could have dropped weapon crafting with Dares of Eternity. It would have had the same effect. Like, the whole point is that weapon crafting just changed the game. Hold on, give me a second. Let me just look up some stuff. I'm trying to see like an article or something of what it added. Forsaken pack. We got a bunch of exotics. We got ciphers. We got the dungeon. We got the raid. But they don't even have the. They don't even have the super changes that they added. I'm looking at this is the Bungie website. But yeah, I don't want to go down this too much longer. But basically, they're saying that they're trying to reach these standards. But in my opinion, Forsaken and the Taken King changed the actual game. And that's what should be the bare minimum, you know? I don't know why they even shifted from that to begin with and why that's a big deal now. Or why they needed this catalyst to do it now. Like, bro, that should have been the standard from the jump. But we can move on. Next, I wanted to talk about consumer side versus the business side. I see a lot of people on Twitter basically like giving Bungie a bunch of crap because of how they handle the business side of things. And it's like, bro, you are not an employee at Bungie. You need to stay in your lane. Like, we are consumers. One of my favorite things Dado said, he did this in a video. I'm sure you all know who Dado is. He said a video where he's talking about the servers and like how, oh, Bungie need to do this. How he was basically saying how we need to stay out of the whole like Destiny 2 server conversation because we are not game developers. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. And he's 100% correct. You need to stop talking about shit you don't know anything about. You don't know shit about the Bungie side or the business side of what Bungie's doing. Like, stay out of it. Like, please. Like, stop talking about, oh, the layoffs. They shouldn't have laid off this person. They need this person. You don't know who the fuck Bungie needs. You don't work there. You have no business talking about it. Just critique the critique the product. Don't critique their business. You don't know shit about that. You don't work there. You don't know how the money turned out. You don't know who they determined, what it was based on. None of that. Like, we see Michael Salvatore, one of the lead like composers there, got laid off. It sucks. His music is fire. I listen to Destiny music all the time, even outside of the game. But from Bungie perspective, maybe they don't need him no more because they already got the music done, and his salary's probably sky high because he's been with the company so long. So they probably were like, "Shit, bro, like we don't need you at the moment, you know." And it sucks. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying it's like, bro, from our perspective, we can't determine if it was the right call or not. You feel me? His salary probably been crazy considering he's been with the company so long, and you know, you inherit all these raises, and over time they probably were paying him a lot really for him to not work on anything anymore because they don't need any more music. The Final Shape music is done, I've heard. So that's just an example, but I'm not saying I want him to lose his job. I'm just saying from our perspective, we don't know the business side of it. We just got to stay out of it. Hope all the people got laid off, get new jobs, or retire, whatever they want to do. But all this hate being thrown at Bungie over some shit we don't know nothing about needs to stop. Like, please. The hate and criticism for Bungie needs to stick to the product. Talk about the game. Stay out of the business. So in my opinion, I particularly don't care about who got laid off because I don't work there and I don't know this business side. I can't speak on it. Hope they get new jobs. I hope they bounce back. That's all I can say. I just hate how I go on Twitter and it's like nonstop people crying and bitching about people getting laid off. Like, bro, you don't know these people. You don't know what happened. You don't know the backstory. You don't know what the executives are thinking. In my opinion, what Bungie did is they said, yo, like, we're losing all this money. We're not making no money. And we have all this fluff. We have all these jobs and people that are non-essential to game development. So they just literally say, yo, if you're non-essential, you're getting cut. And that's what I think happened. But again, we can't speak on it. So let's move on. Main sentiment here is like, stop giving them shit for doing something in a way that you have no way of knowing if they did it right or wrong. Like, people get laid off in the gaming industry all the time. Epic literally laid off like 900 people a couple months ago, and no one said anything. No one gave a fuck. But now that Bungie laid off 100 people or a couple people, oh, Bungie's evil, Bungie's this, Bungie's that. Like, bro, stay in your lane, bro. You don't know what the fuck's going on as far as business. Stay in your lane, please. So we can move on. The next topic I want to talk about is where the blame for all of this goes. A lot of people are blaming Bungie executives and CEOs and saying, yo, like, they don't know what they're doing, and I listen to the devs, blah, blah, blah. I'm seeing shit on the internet saying the devs were saying to do this, they don't listen. Bro, it is not the executives at Bungie's job to understand the game. And I know that sounds weird, but their job is to be profitable. When I say executives, I'm talking about the people who are signing checks, the people who are talking to Sony, the people who are doing all the shit we don't see, the money side of things. They only care that the game is making money. They don't give a fuck about what the players want. They don't give a fuck about none of that. And that's not their job. I'm not expecting the CEOs and the executives who don't even play the fucking game to know what we as a player want. Like, they just need the game to be profitable. So in my opinion, the blame goes to the game director. In this case, it's Joe Blackburn. And I don't know him. I don't have no hate towards him as a person. But as a consumer, my only criticisms can go to the person in charge of the game's direction. Like, that's the only thing we can talk about. Like, I can't talk about the executives. I can't talk about the CEO of Bungie. I can't talk about none of that because their job is to make the company profitable. They probably don't even play the fucking game. You feel me? So, like, I'm seeing all the shit on the internet of everybody saying, oh, the Bungie execs are evil, they're greedy, da, da, da. Like, bro, they're trying to make a profitable company. That's what their job is. Stay in the consumer's place. We are consumers. We can only critique the product. And the person in charge of the product is Joe Blackburn. So I don't want to start a whole hate train or none of that. And it's nothing personal. But in my humble opinion, if anyone's to blame or be laid off, it's Mr. Blackburn. And I'm not saying that as like I want him to lose his job. I'm saying that in the sense like, bro, like, how the fuck did Lightfall ship like that? Like, I cannot in my head fathom if I'm game director giving Lightfall the go ahead. Like, Lightfall was terrible, bro. And I'm about to get into why Lightfall was so bad. But Lightfall was so bad that, like, how the fuck does that leave the game? Like, I really want you guys to comment on the video and let me know, if you're a game director, are you shipping Lightfall in the state that we got it? Like, no. Like, there's no way. And I want to give y'all some context. This is going to be a long video. So I'm going to give y'all some context on my background with Destiny so y'all can understand my player level and experience. Played all of Destiny 1 up until Taken King, finished Taken King. I quit after the Taken King, started college. Didn't play Rise of Iron, didn't play the Fallen expansion with the Wrath of the Machine. I didn't play none of that. Quit Destiny after that. College, life, Destiny 2 drops. They wipe our inventories. I'm pissed off because they wiped all our shit. And Destiny's main selling point when it was announced, I was a kid, this was like at like E3 or some shit, was that your character will persist through all the games. That was the main alert to me, was that I'll make one character and it will last all the way. You feel me? And I still have that same character. This guy I made back in September of 2014 or whenever I got the game. And it's the same hunter I have now. Problem is, Destiny 2, they wiped my inventory. Pissed me the hell off. Did not want to fucking play. So I didn't play a large portion of Destiny 2. I didn't play launch Destiny 2. I didn't play Forsaken. I didn't play Shadowkeep. Bro, I quit Destiny completely. Because I was like, fuck you. How are you going to reset all my shit after I spent hours of my life grinding? I had every exotic in Destiny 1. I had everything up until the Taken King. Literally everything. 3 copies of Galahorn. 3 copies of this. You feel me? This was back in the day before I knew about Dim. So... yeah, I had 3 copies of every fucking thing for all characters. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I was a gamer. And then you wipe all my shit, my fucking Galahorn that I screamed at the top of my lungs to get. Bro, I wish I could have showed you guys my excitement in my college dorm when my fucking Galahorn dropped for the first time. I screamed so loud, I had people knocking on my door. It was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, bro, you wouldn't understand. You feel me? Like, bro, like you wouldn't understand, bro. I just got the best fucking gun in this game. So anyway, point is, I was pissed when they wiped my account. And I just didn't touch Destiny 2 at all. Fast forward to the Season of Plunder, they do the whole Thunder God gift. You guys remember that? Where they give you Thunderlord and they give you some gear, which I think they should fucking do every season. They did that, and I was like, oh shit, well, I'll jump back in the game. All my friends are telling me, yo, Destiny's the best it's ever been, the best it's ever been. They revamping the subclasses, Arc 3.0. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what any of this shit is. But I was like, yo, I'm getting some gear. I'm gonna try it out. So I jump in, Season of Plunder, and the rest is history. I've been playing consistently since. And the main thing that got me back into the game was that Thunder God pack. Like, people sleep on it like, oh, it's just a Thunderlord and some gear, but bro, the main reason people don't fucking play this game is because they don't have nothing to start with. Like, the onboarding for this game sucks. Like, who the fuck wants to do patrols, bro? No one wants to be on a dead-ass Cosmodrome doing fucking patrols, Bungie. Get rid of that. Get rid of all of that. Get rid of the onboarding. Get rid of, go find your light. Get rid of all of that. When you make a character, you should have all 3 light subclasses. You should have gear. Like, you shouldn't have to do none of that dumb shit. If you want to make a tutorial, drop people in the Red War campaign. Give them all their subclasses. Jump in there, kill some Cabal, fight some enemies, fight some bosses. Put them in a strike and say, yo, pair with some new guys. Maybe add each other. Jump in VC. And be the raid boss. Or not a raid boss, but you feel me? Like, bro, ditch all of that dumbass patrol, Cosmodrome, find your light bullshit that's boring as hell. Give people some gear, give them some exotics, some shiny, cool looking shit, and throw them in a matchmake with some other newbies and tell them, yo, get started. And that's what they did in Season of Plunder. They gave me a bunch of gear and said, yo, like, buy the Season Pass, you could do the Season of Plunder activity. And yo, it was matchmake, I was vibing, and I was fucking with it. And then I said, bet, I'm gonna buy the other expansions. So I bought all the expansions. I went back, did the campaigns, and I did all the Witch Queen. And mind, I'm just saying all this to say, so you guys understand the type of player I am. I'm a very enthusiastic, serious Destiny 2 player. It's just, I started in Season 18. So I missed all of the launch shit. But I've gone back and done all the raids. I have almost all the raid exotics, blah, 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 blah. I'm caught up now. And the reason why that's relevant is because now that I'm caught up in the game, I went into Lightfall with a complete understanding of what I'm purchasing, what is entailed in the product, and what the game needs and what's fun about the game. I basically know what the fuck I'm talking about when Lightfall came out. So I come into Lightfall like, all right, new expansion, new raid, new subclass. I'm excited. And immediately, a bulk of my enjoyment of Lightfall came from fucking loadouts. So the reason why I say this, because it's like, what was fun about the Lightfall launch mostly had nothing to do with Lightfall. It was the fucking loadout life quality of life change, which was an enormous quality of life change. Basically changed how we approach the game, because now you can just hot swap different builds. Build crafting was a thing because of the 3.0 updates, and basically we were in the campaign hot swapping our classes and say, oh, I'm gonna play solo for this mission, I'm gonna play arc for this mission, da 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 da. Like, we was enjoying the game itself, but it had nothing to do with Lightfall. As we played through the Lightfall campaign, the missions were cool, but the story was trash. They forced Strand on you, and Strand wasn't even that good. A big problem with Strand in the Lightfall campaign was that it was different from the Strand we got to fucking play with. Like, they reduced the cooldowns, and they give you this hyper mode, oh, Strand overcharge, basically super cool, short cooldowns, and you're running around, you're killing shit, da 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 da, and then you get this shit, and it's like, bro, this shit is trash. On top of locking it behind the Strand currency at the Puka Pond, and you gotta unlock more aspects and fragments and shit. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Why would you give it to us during the campaign, overcharge, and then give us some half-baked bullshit to play with when we get it? But anyway, I'm gonna get into Strand for real in a second. My topic right now is Joe Blackburn allowing Lightfall to ship. Just so I don't lose you guys, because I know I'm talking a lot. I'm really going in, I'm ranting, but I just want to, I haven't lost track where I'm at. We had Joe Blackburn and Lightfall, and why it was allowed. So anyway, the campaign of Lightfall, complete dog shit. I don't like, I have so much to say here. Like, they added, let's start with what we actually got with Lightfall. We got a raid, we got Neo Muna, and a campaign, and Strand. We got 4 things. We got a subclass, a new raid, a new destination, and a campaign. We're not going to talk about all the exotics and gear associated with Lightfall, because that's standard. You got to update the loot pool. Let's critique each one. Neo Muna. Neo Muna has to be one of the dumbest fucking patrol spaces I've ever seen in a game today. And the reason for that is because it was marketed as a vibrant, neon, cyberpunk style city, and there's no one in it. Why the fuck did you spend months of dev time making a bustling light show neon city with no one in it? Why? What's the point? Like, imagine playing Spider-Man 2 and there's no people walking around. That's basically what they did. Imagine playing the brand new Spider-Man 2 that Insomniac crafted. Apparently it's a masterpiece. I did not play it. And you drop down to the floor as Spider-Man and there's no one fucking there. You're gonna be like, damn, who the fuck am I saving? The only people that are there are fucking little holograms. Hey guy, yeah, I'm from the Neo Moon, bro. What's good? Welcome to the city. Like, what the fuck? What is the point? What is the point? At least let's go back one. Savathun's Throne World. Savathun's Throne World made perfect fucking sense. It was her throne world. The only people there are fucking Hive. So you're in the throne world. Okay, shit, this is kind of cool. It's a swamp. We got her castle. She hijacked the Traveler, trying to save the Traveler from the Witness. Our dumbasses broke it out of there just for the Witness to take it. And you got Roke's pyramid in the cut. You got, you feel me? It was cool. I actually really like Savathun's Throne World. It made sense. It was, partly on Mars, and it was a projection of her mind. I'm not a big lore guy, so I don't really know the details, but essentially, it's some world she created. It makes sense. You fighting Hive, it's swampy, it's green, it's a castle, her castle's there, whatever. It made sense. Neo Muna makes no fucking sense at all. Europa, I love Europa. The music is gorgeous. Shout out to Michael Salvatore. And it's nice to see weather effects. You're using stasis. Like, Europa makes sense, in my opinion. Neo Muna does not make no fucking sense. I'm supposed to be a superhero. The whole theme was you're a superhero. And I'm not saving anybody. I'm saving fucking holograms. And like, bro, like, if you're gonna make something like this, an effort should be put into making the city lifelike. I should be flying around with Cloud Striders and seeing like civilians fighting, or maybe Cloud Striders have a little army, and like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, what was the point of crafting this just for it to be empty? They made a massive empty fucking city. That's the first critique. It's fucking empty, and it doesn't match the whole cyberpunk theme. Like, it was a whole neon futuristic cyberpunk theme, and it's fucking empty, bro. Like, come on. To me, that's stupid. Next, my other critique is the Cloud Striders. My God. I could go on an entire separate rant about Cloud Striders, but I'm gonna try and keep it concise. The introduced two, Nimbus and Rohan. Nimbus is fucking annoying as shit. Like, I know the whole gender pronoun shit and they're non-binary and all of that, cool. Inclusivity, representation, I'm all for that. But bro, their dialogue sucks. Like, it just sucks. Like, bro, I can't even really say what I want to say. Like, it's so fucking bad and so fucking cringe. Like, you just, I can't picture any adult not fucking hating this character. Like, it just makes no sense to introduce a character like this just to, like, be what, humor? Like, they wasn't funny. They was always offbeat, always all out of sync with what the fuck was going on. They saved the day at the end by grabbing the ghost, which made no fucking sense. And just, bro, like, I feel like they created Nimbus to be a non-binary token character to make themselves seem like an inclusive company, but wrote the character fucking poorly. Like, bro, like, I know I'm all for, like, all this gender shit and blah, 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 making people feel welcome. But, bro, like, focus on making a good product. Like, the product just was not good. Nimbus was, like, terrible fucking character, bro. Just a terrible character. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. The character was just terrible. Dialogue, everything. Combat, didn't do anything cool, relatively cool whatsoever. Like, I got to the point where I couldn't even stand listening to the fucking character because the character just, the voice, the effect that you use, horrible. Whatever. Rohan is the stereotypical manly man, macho character, and he was cool. What they do? Fucking kill him off in the first couple missions. Like, bro, like, what was the point of even introducing him just to kill him instantly? Like, I actually like Rohan. Rohan was cool. He was the nice, stoic, masculine energy that the story doesn't have. The story has literally women in every fucking role. All the villains are fucking women. All the main characters are women. We got fucking Osiris. He was annoying as shit this whole game. So we got the one guy to be like, he's the typical fucking male hero, and you kill him instantly. The first thing you do, you kill him instantly. Get rid of him. I would have loved to see Rohan throughout the whole story. He was cool. He was crashing through walls and shit, doing all this gangster shit, and then they fucking kill him instantly. Like, come on, bro. So that's my two critiques of the characters. And then next, why didn't we buy into the entire Cloud Strider brand and theme? Like, I wanted some Cloud Strider armor. Why didn't we get a Cloud Strider Sparrow? Like, the little surfboard. Why the fuck didn't we get that? Like, that would have been cool as fuck to add a new type of vehicle and give us the fucking surfboard to kind of, like, you feel me? To just replace the Sparrow. Like, it could have just been strictly visual and we just stand on the Sparrow instead. But like that don't chime in your head to be like, oh, we introduce a new faction, we go into their area, let's adopt some of their culture, some of what they do. Like, we should have had the surfboard. We should have had some, like, the hunter should have got a fire ass silver outfit to, like, look like a Cloud Strider. Like, what the fuck? Like, look at this shit. I'm not even gonna pull it up on screen. Yo, like, am I crazy, bro? Like, if you're gonna introduce a faction and have the Guardians pull up to, like, work with this new faction, shouldn't it be cool to be like, yo, this area is gonna be like a Cloud Strider, cyberpunk, robot android theme. We get some robot android armor. We get a new Sparrow type. All the guns should have been cyberpunk theme. Like, bro, what the fuck? How you fumbled that cyberpunk bag, bro? I was so excited for the cyberpunk theme, and they fucking wasted it. The city should have been lit. It should have been lights going. It should have been music blasting out of clubs. Should have been cars racing around. Like, bro, Neomuna should be lit, bro. It should have been the first like city-like feeling. We should have been on the Sparrow racing through fucking traffic and shit. Bro, they could have went crazy with Neomuna, bro. And they fucking did it. They didn't want to over-deliver, bro. I'm still on point. We critiquing Neomuna, the campaign, Strand, and what was the last one? The raid, right? I'm sorry. I'm kind of just freeballing at this point, but I basically am saying they created Neomuna and it was a waste because they didn't buy into the cyberpunk theme, they didn't buy into the Cloud Strider theme, and they introduced characters that were lackluster, and the city's fucking empty. I would have loved some cyberpunk. I think we should have got a Cloud Strider subclass. Fuck Strand. Strand doesn't even make any fucking sense. Why the fuck are we pulling on threads? Like, what the fuck? We should have got a cyberpunk Cloud Strider fucking subclass, where like maybe our ghosts tapped into the Cloud Strider network and got some new abilities, and we doing a bunch of robotic android shit. That'd have been cool as fuck. But nah, Strand. All right, so Neomuna overall. Another point before we get off of Neomuna. The tanky enemies thing. They wanted Neomuna to essentially be what's the word? Fucking difficult and dangerous. And they basically make you a lower light level all the time. And that was some of the most unenjoyable time I've ever had on this fucking game. Was trying to drive around a patrol space and just being destroyed by everything. Like, bro, the Cabal ships one-shotting you. You made it such an unenjoyable experience. Bro, I didn't even want to go to Neomuna. Not only was it fucking dead, not only did you fumble the cyberpunk theme, you made it like the hardest content in the fucking game, bro. Like, the enemies were tanky as shit, and they just did so much damage. It was like, bro, like, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna do the campaign, get my loot, and I'm gone. So, like, bro, Neomuna was a flop, bro. I'm sorry. I personally think they should just walk away from patrol spaces because they're not doing them right. In my opinion, they're not doing patrol spaces right. The only patrol space I think they nailed is Europa. Europa is a gorgeous patrol space. And the reason is because it's supposed to be empty. It's a frozen fucking planet. And the only people there are the fallen. And you find loot and you do all this shit. And you have stasis. And it's hard to see. It's low visibility. Like, the weather effects and the behavior of Europa fits the fucking planet. Neomuna, I would have rather they didn't even make Neomuna. And they just made us, like, the campaign a single node. In my opinion, just to switch the campaign topic, I think campaigns shouldn't even have patrol spaces at this point because they're not doing them right. After Neomuna and even the Witch Queen, like, it looks cool and all and it fits, but I still think it would make more sense for new players to just load into a campaign at a node. Like, you just click a node and load in and you just play through the campaign, bro. Like, stop crafting these massive patrol spaces just for them to be fucking empty. The only time it worked is Europa, because Europa makes sense to be empty. Everything else, no. But anyway, we can move on from Neomuna. You guys let me know what you think. I personally think they could have went crazy with the cyberpunk theme and a Cloud Strider subclass, and maybe even a Cloud Strider vehicle, Cloud Strider guns. The only cyberpunk theme they went with was the smart pistol. You see it with the Strand smart pistol and how it auto targets. But they could have went crazy, man. We should have got a cyberpunk sword. You feel me? They should have went crazy, bro. I'm a big cyberpunk geek. I think that's a cool ass theme, and they found the bag. But anyway, we can move on to Strand. We're going on 40 minutes now. The video is quite long, but I just kind of want to really put it all in one video. Strand. Strand was a failure in my opinion. And I still think Strand's a failure. It's fun, but like, bro, we just... I don't know. It's hard for me to even talk about this because, like, I don't think any of the subclasses in this game are good. And the reason why I feel that way is because it trivializes the game, or the loop is just not good enough. Like Solar trivializes the game in the sense that you could just out heal every fucking thing to the point where like it doesn't even matter what you're doing with the Solar. As long as you have healing grenades and restoration, it doesn't matter. Like you just out heal everything, that to the point where ignitions and explosions are all irrelevant because the enemy can't fucking kill you. You feel me? So like Strand is similar with Woven Mail to the point where like, am I having fun or am I just immortal? You know what I mean? I will say the only subclass I think in this game are actually good and makes sense is Arc. I think Arc is the only subclass in this game that is actually good. They encourage you to get in there, melee, and do up close combat. The fragment support up close combat. Ionic traces recover your abilities. You get amplified, and basically it's a fun gameplay loop of you going faster, killing more things, jolting, explosions, shocking everything in sight. I don't think any other subclass comes close to that. If you guys disagree, let me know. But I do not think any other subclass comes close to the Arc subclass. It is the most fun subclass in my opinion. And it's the only good subclass. Like it actually makes sense. You got the slide dash attack on each class where you can make like the explosive shockwave. You get jolting off your melee. Like it's just lit. Warlocks, you get the Arc buddy. You're destroying everything. Titans, you're unstoppable. You got Thunder Crash. It's like, bro, it's pretty fun. And Strand just... Strand is a failure for so many reasons. And I kind of want to... It's going to take a while, but I'm going to break it down why Strand's a failure to me. One, they marketed Strand as like something that each class will make their own. But you can essentially play all three styles of Strand on all classes. Obviously, some are better, but they were not strict enough with how each subclass plays into their part of Strand. What I mean by this, you can run Threadlings on Hunter. You can run Suspend on Hunter. Even though Suspend was superior on Titan, you can run it on Hunter as well. You can run, you can Suspend on Warlock just as good. Like, I'm not saying each class shouldn't have access to everything. They should. But, like, there isn't enough exceptional difference in each. The Warlock and Threadlings are probably the only one, but everything else feels like you could basically play whatever you want on each. And I think that's pretty stupid. Like, Hunter grapple, they marketed the fuck out of the grapple, and you get it, and it's really just a niche ability. Like, you should be able to web swing, bro. Like, I shouldn't have to wait for my second fucking grapple. Like, at launch, Strand grapple was so, like, the cooldown was so long, like, you basically can swing once, and then you're on the floor again. Like, bro, what's the point of marketing it as Spider-Man, basically, and you can't even chain them? Like, Hunters, that's what I'm saying. Like, each class should have a unique, you feel me? Unique interactions with the class. Like, they tried to give Hunter 2 grenades, but like, bro, you should really just have them have 2 grapple charges by default. Like, I shouldn't have to run a fragment to get a second grenade on Hunter, bro. Like, it should just be built into grapple. You want us to have 2 grapples? Just give us 2 grapple charges. It shouldn't be, oh, you can have 2 grenades. Like, an example of that, look at the Titan. Titan has 3 melees. That's nothing to do with their fragments. They just have 3 melees built into the class because they want you to melee. That is what they should have did with Hunter and grapple. I'm a Hunter main, so I'm gonna mostly be talking about Strand Hunter. Next, the Threadling, the rope dart. And this is totally irrelevant to PvP. The rope dart. You throw it, you hit a bunch of enemies, you catch it, and it's not max charge. Like, you want me to get cooldown reduction based on who I hit when you could just give me max charge? Like, are you serious? Like, Titans literally could throw their solar hammer and pick it up repeatedly. But if I catch my rope dart, it's somehow different. Like, it's little things like that that just kind of like, bro, like, do you want us to have fun or not? You feel me? Y'all let me know if I'm bugging, but I feel like Strand was just weak out the gate, and this is not talking PvP, and they didn't dive into the individual fantasies enough. Like, Hunter should be able to fucking web swing, chain grapple, back to back, throw his rope dart, catch it for full charge, throw that shit again. Like, what the fuck? Like, why is that a big ask? You should be able to, man, like, even the dive is pretty cool. I think the dive is fine on Hunter. So basically, my point is they didn't dive into each fantasy hard enough, in my opinion. Titans has the whole melee fantasy. They're basically unkillable, and I don't think Titans melee fantasy was good until Banner of War. Now it's pretty cool how you can melee, get Banner of War going, throw a tangle, grapple melee. So now it's kind of good now with Banner of War, but I don't think at launch Strand Titan was that cool. Like Suspend was like their best thing. Next is Warlock. I think Warlock from the gate was just overpowered. Their fucking Weaver's Trance, basically, in my opinion, Weaver's Trance was fucking a super. And I might have the name wrong, but basically they could consume the grenade and like kill enemies to suspend them. Like, this is back when Suspend was super strong. And I don't know, I just feel like they overdid the Warlock. Like, the Warlock could suspend, it could make threadling. It's like, it was just crazy, bro. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm kind of, just throwing shit out there about Strand, but my main premise on Strand is it wasn't good enough. Like, it wasn't enough to me to sell the expansion, in my humble opinion. Another thing is, why are we getting one super? I don't know how you guys feel, but why the fuck are we on a second Darkness subclass before Stasis got a second super? Why does Strand launch with one super? Like, how hard is it to make two fucking supers, bro? Like, it's not that hard, bro. The Hunter super is not that complicated. It's literally just a wide AoE attack. You can spin it or you could go straight ahead with it. And it's like, that took all that depth time to the point where you can't make another one? Like, bro, come on. Like, even the Warlock one is just literally like you throw the threadlings at them. Like, it's not rocket science. There's no way you can tell me that y'all couldn't make another super. Like, I feel like a subclass should literally launch with a minimum of two supers, a minimum of two aspects, or fragments, whatever they're called. Actually, let me check real quick because I don't want to say the wrong word. Let me see. What are they called? Aspects, yeah. A minimum of 2 or 3 aspects so you can switch up the build. Like, we launched with, what, the grapple and the ensnaring slam? We got 2 since launch. And that's nice, but, like, that should be expected, bro. Like, you should be adding aspects to all subclasses over the course of the year. Like, my whole premise for Strand is that, like, they're doing the bare minimum. That's all I'm saying. They're doing the bare fucking minimum with these subclasses. We got 2 subclasses since Destiny's fucking launch. 2 subclasses. Yeah, each class might have gotten updates. Like, you might have got, Hunter didn't originally have, what was it, Arc? I don't know. Hunter started with what? No, Void was new. We got Void and Taken King, I think, for Hunter. Like, we used to be Solar Arc only, and then they added Void. Like, yeah, I get that, adding the light subclasses. But Stasis and Strand, in the course of a 10-year game, bro, we should have had more subclasses. I think they are too slow with subclasses, and they hold back too much, in my humble opinion. Strand, this is my ideal. I'm gonna tell you my ideal on what they should do with Strand. They should have did two supers minimum, 3 aspects minimum. Each class should have had built-in passives. And what I mean by that, like, Hunter should just have 2 grapples. I should not need to run a fragment to get a second grapple, because they worded it as 2 grenades to give Hunter 2 grenades so that they have 2 grapples. But in reality, you should just give me 2 fucking grapples and not give me an aspect that gives me 2 grenades. Now, this is such a dog shit aspect. Widow Silk, you have an additional grenade charge. Your grapple hook creates a grapple tangle. Like, what the fuck? Bro, there's no point in this game where I will need to create a grapple tangle for my teammates so that they can web swing with me. That makes no sense. Like, why the fuck do I want to make grapple points for my teammate? Like, there is no, like, what? Like, the only real jump quest in the whole game is in the Taken King raid. Like, that's a real jump quest. But like, there's really no instance in the game where you really need to like grapple chain to get somewhere, bro. This isn't Spider-Man. Like, my point is, they make these lackluster things and pointless things that should just be implemented into the basis of the subclass. You feel me? Like, hunters by default should just have 2 grapples because they are the cloud, whatever it is, the thread runner. That's their thing. Grappling is their thing. It should just be built in. Whenever you run grapple on hunter, you should just have 2 charges. That shouldn't even be a fragment. Or aspect. The aspect should have been something totally different to put a spin on the class. You feel me? Also, I'm gonna critique Strand some more. There's one other thing I don't like about Strand. I guess they call them adjectives or like the Strand buzzwords. So we have suspend, we have the tangle, we have sever. And bro, like, sever has to be one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen in this game. Sever is dumb as hell. Sever basically reduces enemy outgoing damage in a game where you're already damn near immortal. Simultaneously, they gave you woven mail, which reduces incoming damage. So wait, you gave me woven mail to reduce incoming damage, and then on top of that, I'm severing the enemy to reduce their outgoing damage. Like, Bungie, how immortal do you want us to be? It's already hard enough to fucking die in this game because almost everything's the same light level as you. Then you give us cascading damage reduction and damage outgoing of the enemy. For what, bro? Like, it's just overkill. I think Sever is just overkill, and it's one of the dumbest things in the game. It really just doesn't need to be in the game. Like, they could have came up with something way cooler than Sever, in my opinion. Woven Mail is fine. I think it's a bit strong, but I just wanted to talk about Sever. I think it's one of the dumbest things in the game. And then the new fucking the exotic trace rifle. That shit severs, right? It gives woven mail and it severs the enemy. Like, bro, like, I don't want to sever shit, bro. Like, sever is useless. Give me something real. Give me something cool. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm alone on that one, but I just think overall, so we're critiquing Lightfall and Strand. I overall think Strand was just not good, bro. Just not enough. And then I honestly wouldn't be mad if we just never got Strand at all and we just got a total fucking different subclass. I would have been happier if they just did a 4.0 of the light subclasses, updated stasis instead of give us Strand, because Strand is just another filler ass subclass that really isn't that great, bro. And like, we're just not talking PvP. Grappling and slamming and all that shit might be fun in PvP, but I don't know. I don't think it's enough to justify what they gave us, bro. To be honest with you. So Lightfall, let's get back. I know I've been ranting for a minute. Lightfall, and if you're still watching, I appreciate it. This video is super long, but I just wanted to get everything out while it's on my head. And you could disagree, agree, whatever, leave the video, come back to the video, whatever. But I just want to get everything out. So as far as Lightfall, we covered the Strand, the campaign, the raid, and then Neomuna itself, right? The extra patrol space. So Neomuna, I said they failed with the cyberpunk theme and the Cloud Strider theme, and overall Neomuna was a dog shit. It's a waste. After you get the red borders, you don't go. Strand, just not enough. Like, if you're gonna release a subclass, Bungie, release a complete subclass. Stop releasing half-baked, half-ass subclasses, bro. You did this with Stasis. Release a complete subclass. Subclasses are meant to have multiple supers. Subclasses are meant to have multiple ways to play. It's supposed to have a niche. You made Stasis and Strand have the same fucking niche. Now no one uses Stasis because you can just suspend every fucking thing. And then now you nerf Suspend, and basically now Suspend is just trash, and Stasis is still fucking trash because you haven't updated it. Like, Bungie, what are you doing, bro? In my opinion, Strand should never even fucking came out. But now that it's here, you need to make it unique. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't want to go down another rabbit hole. But point is, Strand's not good enough, and in my opinion, it wasn't even done. Like, stop releasing shit that's not done just to sell an expansion. Like, Lightfall was such a catastrophe. So Neomuna was a dead, massive waste of depth time, empty city, and you didn't even correlate the theme of the fucking city to the gear, the loot, the guns. The only cyberpunk theme was the fucking smart pistol that no one uses. So Neomuna was a fail. Strand was unfinished, and now that we have all these aspects, it's better now. But it was unfinished at launch, and ultimately it was just trash. It was just flashy with the web swinging and threadlings running around, and it just was not that good. The campaign, we basically touched on this. The characters were annoying, the city was dead, and the missions culminated in us fighting Callus for the 100th fucking time. And overall, the campaign was just mid. This is my opinion. I don't think 8 missions is enough for a goddamn campaign. We paid $60 for Neomuna, which we said was dead and lackluster, Strand, which was unfinished, and a campaign that was 8 missions long and made no goddamn sense lore-wise. You got fucking Zavala and Ikora sitting in the helm, looking at the witness, while we are on Neomuna, working with 2 Cloud Striders out of the entire fucking planet, and we're trying to stop Callus from getting the mast. We like, bro, I don't even know what they were trying to get. What is it? That dark, I forgot the name of that bitch. What is that shit that they was trying to get? It's the Traveler and the I forgot what it's called, man. Damn, it's been so long. But basically, you know what that shit called? The we gotta stop, or Osiris was trying to stop us from, you feel me? The veil. Oh, there we go. The fucking veil. Oh my god, that shit was a meme. Cause everybody's like, what is the veil? How we finished the fucking campaign and we don't know what the veil is, Bungie? I thought we left this type of 3rd grade shit back in Destiny 1. Destiny 1 literally had no story, bro. It was just like, oh, I will have no time to explain. Well, I have no time to explain. You gotta stop the Black Garden, blah. Like, that was cool in 2014. All right, they just trying to make the game. The story was ass, but the game is fun. Cool. 2023 or 20, whatever it is, 2023. And you make a story that had a zero conclusion. We had no idea what the fuck was going on. Like, come on, Bungie. Like, that's unacceptable, bro. Like, the campaign story was unacceptable. Why are you giving us tank missions in 2023? I don't want to drive a tank in 2023. This is not 2004 Call of Duty. Defend the bunker. I don't want to drive a fucking tank in 2023 in no FPS, bro. Get serious. Like, are you kidding me? I got fucking alien powers. I could blow up I kill gods and shit. And you got me in a tank? Are you dead ass? Come on, son. I don't want to drive tanks. The campaign was ass. Fucking Nimbus, annoying as shit. Offbeat, out of pace, out of touch. Everything. Rohan killed him way too quickly. He could have been a cool vendor, a cool character. Killed him immediately just to prop Nimbus up even more. Just for Nimbus to be fucking hated because you made his voice lines goddamn annoying. And it's just like, bro, fucking, what else? The missions, 8 missions is not enough. The missions were ass. The ending was ass. The veil was unknown. We didn't know what it was. We killed Callus, and the witness took over our ghost. But apparently, the witness could have did from the beginning, and took over our ghost. Used the ghost to go up to the veil, and Nimbus flies up and stops the shit. Complete dog shit, bro. Like, I cannot believe in 2023 this is what the fuck we getting for a $60 campaign. Bro, you would have been better off not even making a campaign. I would have been happier if you took all that dumbass dev time wasted on the campaign and Neomuna and you just fucking finished Strand, bro. If you just want to sell us a $60 subclass, bitch, then sell us a $60 subclass. What the fuck? That's basically what you did. You tried to sell us a subclass, and then we didn't even talk about Strand in the campaign. You forced Strand on us so egregiously throughout the entire fucking campaign to the point where I didn't even like Strand no more. You made me in 8 missions love and hate the fucking new subclass in one fucking expansion. How? Because you... Oh, You over inserted a subclass that wasn't even done by reducing the cooldowns and give us these stage situations to grapple the ship. Like, what the fuck, Bungie? This is not 2004, bro. We don't need these Call of Duty, Halo ass cinematic moments to kind of like, make us feel like we fucking with the campaign. Like, bro, you have a gorgeous universe. You have shit ton of assets as far as the Guardian and the characters and subclasses. Like, you don't need to do shit like that to kind of get us into it. Just make the story good. Make the lore good. Do things that you've never done before. Like, Neomuna should have been a bustling night city with a police department. It should have had citizens. It should have had all of that. You should have had citizens like fucking, we're the part of the resistance. Like, we fighting Callus and we're defending our fucking city. You could have put the Cloud Striders as in charge of all of the resistance or whatever. Like, you guys could have did so much fun shit. But instead, you force Strand down our fucking throat. You give us an unrealistic version of it that when we got it, it was way worse. And then Strand wasn't even done. The Strand fantasy wasn't even fully complete. All Hunters could do was web swing and melee. That's the Strand fantasy? Grapple melee? Like, come on, bro. If you're going to give me the ability to web swing, I should be able to chain my swings. I should be able to zip between two enemies. I should be able to do some crazy ass shit, bro. Instead, I could grapple melee, and then I'm back to using my gun. Like, Strand, in my whole opinion, bro, I really don't like Strand, bro. Like, it's fun in PvP now, but it just doesn't fit the fucking game. Like, it's not a melee game. This is a shooting game. Why would I want to grapple into combat, melee, and then switch to my gun? Like, no. You got to pick a fantasy to dive into. Like, Banner of War healing you and giving you stronger melee lets Titans basically play a melee game, which is cool. Strand Hunter, what's the fantasy? I'm a swing in, I'm an ensnaring slam. You nerf the fuck out of suspend because you didn't realize when you were designing this shit that, oh shit, this basically replaces stasis. So now you got to nerf suspend to the point where I don't even use ensnaring slam anymore because it's fucking pointless. Like, bro, I could go on and on, but essentially, goddamn, lost my pen. Essentially, the campaign was ass, bro, for numerous reasons, and Strand being forced on you like that in the campaign was dog shit. We can move on from the campaign now because we reached the hour point and I'm just ranting. The last thing is the raid. Root of Nightmares. I personally enjoyed Root of Nightmares, but I did beat it on contest mode and got the emblem. I do see why everyone's upset. I think a day one raid should be almost nigh impossible to beat. That's the whole point. The whole point of the day one raid should be nigh impossible. And we saw that with Crota's End. If you participate in Crota's End, I got a video on my channel of that shit. That shit was real. Crota's End was real. And that's what Root of Nightmares should have been. And they fumbled the bag. As far as, aside from difficulty, the design was cool. The raid was beautiful. It was not scary at all. You guys were saying how it was going to be scary. And it wasn't scary at all. It should have been more scary. But I would have liked that if they had more of like dark theme or dream theme. Like maybe you make your Guardian fall asleep in the raid and like, I don't even know if Guardians sleep, but like they should make, you know what I mean? They could have played it to the whole dream. Like the raid should have just been in a dream. Like, oh, you get to the fucking thing and your whole Guardian, your whole fire team knocks out type shit. That'd have been cool. But anyway, I personally don't got that much hate for Root of Nightmares, but I do understand that it was a bit easy as far as raids go. My only critique would be, I think raids should be longer, bro. I think raids should be longer, and they should be like Last Wish. Like raids, I don't know. It's weird because Valve the Disciple feels long as hell, even though it's just 4 encounters. But like, I think the standard for raids should be like Last Wish. Like Last Wish is a fucking raid. It's old now, and people think it's easy now. Yeah, bitch, try that shit back when it came out. That shit was crazy when it came out. But I just think raids should be longer. Taken King is an example. Taken King is a fucking raid. To me, Taken King, or what was it? King's Fall. King's Fall is the best raid they've ever done that I've played because is actually a raid. You're visiting this place to kill the boss, but there's an entire, a fucking world you got to go through to get to the boss, and it takes time. There's jump quests, there's chests hidden, and back in Destiny 1, shit, that shit tied into the campaign, and it was a patrol space. Like, that shit was dope as hell. So, Rooted Nightmares, in my opinion, wasn't that bad, but I just think the nature since Shadowkeep of raids being 4 encounters needs to stop. Like, obviously, I think the final shape raid is going to be longer than 4 encounters because it's the fucking witness, but the Rooted Nightmares should have been longer. I think these raids just in general should just be longer. So that's it. I'm not going to knock them too bad. I actually enjoy Rooted Nightmares, but overall, maybe the guns of Rooted Nightmares, the exotics extremely good, the shotguns fire. Let me talk about that for a second. Why the fuck are you guys launching raid exotics without catalyst? Like, I don't know how you guys in the comments might feel if you're still here watching the video, but I don't even think you should make exotics without catalyst, like, at all. Like, you should not make exotics without catalyst. Like, the fucking exotic should release with a catalyst. Like, come on. Come the fuck on. You feel me? It should just release with the catalyst. That's a bare minimum. I personally don't think any exotic should not have a catalyst. Like, if they want to bring people back to Destiny, add a catalyst to every goddamn exotic. That's what you should do. And that shit alone will get people playing the game. But, yeah, the exotic and weapons are cool, but not having the catalyst is crazy to me. And I don't like that. They did the same shit with Vow. Collective Obligations still does not have the catalyst. Unacceptable. Eyes of Tamara from Deepstone still does not have a catalyst. Unacceptable. Like, stop. They keep doing this shit where they release content and then they move on to the next content without finishing what the fuck they started. Don't release shit if you don't plan on making a catalyst for this shit, man. Finish what you started, bro. Make the catalyst. Like, and I don't want to hear this shit like, oh, not every exotic is getting a catalyst. No, bitch. I need to masterwork my gun. So you need to make a way to masterwork exotics or make a catalyst. Pick one. Pick one. I don't want to. I hate seeing my wish ender without being masterwork. Come up with a catalyst, even if it's just a fucking stat bump. I don't give a damn. Or give us a way to masterwork exotics you deem do not need a catalyst. Like, figure it out, Bungie. Like, that's the type of shit I'll be talking about. Like, that's basic, bro. Like, come on. But anyway, that was a long ass rant. But I hope it culminated with why I think Lightfall should not have shipped. Neomuna didn't hit the mark, and there's no reason to go back. I have no desire to collect anything there. The campaign was lackluster and dog shit. And honestly, I would have rather you didn't write the whole campaign at all. I would have rather Lightfall had no fucking campaign, if that's what we were gonna get. Strand was unfinished and is now in season 22 at a much better state, but it's what, 3 seasons later. Like, it should have been done at launch. Stop selling $60 fucking subclasses that are unfinished. That's unacceptable. And then finally, the raid, a bit too easy. I'm not going to go too much because I'm not a big day one guy, but the raid could have been better. And yeah, all of that started with my critique of Joe Blackburn. How does the game director allow Lightfall to launch in that state? I don't understand. I'm sorry. Call me a tough critic, call me harsh, but Joe Blackburn, how the fuck do you greenlight Lightfall? What that tells me, I'm not trying to bash the guy because he seems like a cool guy, but I'm just really like, I'm a consumer, bro. I'm a critique the fucking product. I don't give a fuck about nobody's feelings. I'm critiquing the product. That lets me know that you are not tapped in with the game, like, at all. You are not as enthralled in the game as the players, which is understandable because we play significantly more than you. But if you're a game director, in my humble opinion, to be a game director, you need to have a much better pulse on the fucking game than anybody else working on the game. Even the damn game devs. Because they might do one function. They might just do PvP sandbox. You feel me? One might just do art, landscape design. One might just do audio. Like, game devs is a blanket title for a bunch of people who work on the game. So, like, I can understand if maybe the PvP heads don't really give a fuck about the PvE shit because they PvP heads. But as the game director, you're the boss of all of that. You need to have a good pulse of the entire goddamn game. And I don't think Joe Blackburn has a good pulse on the entire game. Like, at all. I would argue the game director damn near should be someone like a fucking content creator. And that might sound crazy, but like, they have a much better sense of the game than you do. They should be the people who say like, bro, like, you guys need to up the difficulty. You guys need to give us better loot. You guys need to do yes X, Y, and Z. Yeah, so I'm not trying to bash the guy, but just my opinion, I blame Joe Blackburn for where Destiny is currently because he's the game director. And if I'm an executive, my only concern is Bungie being profitable. Bungie's not profitable because the game is not retaining players. The game is not retaining players because the direction of the game is going downhill. That points back to the game director. The direction of Destiny's been going downhill all year because Lightfall was ass, should have never released. And then two, they constantly are doing things that we don't give a fuck about, bro. Stop making new seasons and fix what we got. Like, Bungie keeps doing this. They keep making new seasons instead of fixing what the fuck we got. Fix what we got. I kind of want to do a video talking about what I recommend them to do to fix things. This video is already an hour, so I might just wrap this up here. And then maybe do another video talking about my suggestions. But, yeah. I blame Mr. Blackburn and the game director for leading us down this path of a game that is under delivering. They're doing the bare fucking minimum. Yeah, we're gonna release Strand, but it's not done. Yeah, we're gonna release a raid, but it's super easy. Yeah, we're gonna release Neomuna, but it's fucking empty. Yeah, we're gonna release a campaign, but it makes no fucking sense. Like, stop releasing shit that is underfinished, undercooked, not done, and just honestly, just poor shit, bro. Like, you guys, like, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm not as nice as everybody else on Twitter, bro. Like, if anybody should be fucking laid off, it's Joe Blackburn. Because, or even just, he shouldn't be game director anymore. Maybe move him to something else. But, like, bro, if I'm a tough exec at Bungie, I'm looking at the state of the game like, why the fuck are we losing players so badly? From Witch Queen successful year. You want to know the difference between the year of Witch Queen and the year of Lightfall? 3.0 subclasses. You hear me? 3.0 subclasses. That's the difference maker. Not the story. Lightfall was, Witch Queen was better than Lightfall, but you got to understand, bro, what people care about is how they can change, how you change the way we play. Weapon crafting fundamentally changed the way we play. Some people don't like it. Some people love it. I personally love it because I don't want to be on here 20 years farming for one fucking gun. Give me the ability to craft it and pick the role I want. That is big to me. That's obvious. That should be in the game. But whatever. People don't think so. But each season we got a subclass alteration. We had Void Solar Arc. Mind you, I came in this season to plunder. So to me, this was all new. But for someone playing the game, holy shit, next season's the Arc 3.0. I cannot wait to test it out on all three characters. That's the difference maker. Stop making these random ass Season of the Deep, Season of Defiance, where you're not changing the way we play. You're just giving us more bullshit to do. That's the problem, Bungie. You need to fundamentally change the way we play. And the subclass is the easiest way to do that. Guns are cool, but guns are not for everybody. You might add a fire-ass exotic, but I might not like shotguns. Or I might not like snipers. I might not like hand cannons. Who gives a fuck about the weapon sandbox in terms of broad-scale appeal? You feel me? Everyone's going to use their favorite gun regardless of the sandbox. You need to focus on the subclasses. You should be updating Stasis. Strand should have been a massive update. Like, the whole update should have just been a complete 3 or 4 fragments, multiple supers, hella aspects. You feel me? Like, Strand should have been an enormous package for the $60, not a bare bones subclass. So I kind of, it's a minute 40, an hour 40 or 14. I got more material, but I'm probably gonna stop here and call it, why I think what's going on, what I think was going on, and the failure that is Lightfall. And if you guys are interested, if anyone even watched this far, in what I recommend and my thoughts on the final shape, I didn't even get to talk about the final shape and why I'm hopeful. I could probably do a part 2, but I don't want to make this 2 hours. That's gonna be crazy. So yeah, overall sentiment, Lightfall was a catastrophe, and the direction of the game is failing because the game director, in my opinion, doesn't know what the fuck is good for the game. What's good for the game is sandbox updates, but specifically subclass changes. We need subclass updates. Every season should add a new aspect to every subclass. That's how you get player retention. Why? Because now people are, fuck, I'm gonna play Strand Titan now. I've been playing more Strand Titan than I ever have because Banner of War is fucking cool as hell. But why is Banner of War a lightning in the bottle situation? You should be adding aspects to every subclass every season at the bare minimum. That's not a lot of work, bro. Just add one aspect, figure it out, code it, see how it works. And the reason why I think you guys don't do this is because there's a lot of testing. But you guys waste all your time crafting all this seasonal horse shit that people get bored with in the first 3 weeks. Like, yeah, seasonal content is okay, but bro, we have enough shit to do. We want to do the same old shit in different ways, not more new shit in the same way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you add new activities, but don't change how we play. That's bad. You need to add new activities, yes, but you need to change how we do the old activities. I'm still doing Last Wish to get red borders. I don't want to run into Last Wish with the same shit I've been using since Last Wish came out. You feel me? You need to change it. That's why Arc and Solar and Void 3.0 is what kept people playing the game. You feel me? So I got suggestions and shit, but I'm gonna wrap this video up here. It's been an hour. If you did watch this entire thing, or if you jumped around, I appreciate you. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm not gonna edit none of this. I'm just gonna ship it straight like that, cause you feel me? I want y'all to see what I'm thinking. Yada yada yada. So anyway, it's been Nizzy from House Umbro. Peace.